All right, guys, we're gonna do duck unders. And so, you know what, I'm gonna tell you with the duck under, I didn't make it a weapon in my arsenal until after my sophomore year of high school. I managed to find a whole bunch of John Smith footage. I watched John Smith. He had a sick duck under. Obviously more known for the low single, but his duck under was really, he had a plethora of offensive options, let's just say that. So when I plugged the duck under into my offense, it really helped. And the first place I plugged it into from was my failed shots. So that's kind of the first place I'll talk about. And then after I started figuring out how to really use it, I plugged it into a lot of different spots. And then I'm going to show you, right? Obviously, there's a whole bunch of different types of duck unders. And so we'll kind of just talk about different kinds of duck unders also that you can potentially use for your stuff. The first one that I talked about using was I shoot a single leg, and they stuffed me in for headlock. Okay, so I shoot single leg, boom, he slides back for headlock, locks up. So I would just drive into him hard, and when I started feeling resistance here, boom, I would do like a peek out duck under right there. And notice my butt's on my heel. I get here, and then obviously I can kind of turn the corner. John Smith would do a lot. He was super flexible where he went. I can't get that flexible where he went both feet kind of on the outside, butt to the ground. So I really found it like comfortable going my butt on my heel. See where I'm at? Right here. I found a really level of comfortability in here. And that's really where I like going duck from. And then I always talk about with my guys, like obviously there's the duck under where you just go like this, right? Or potentially if you get a position, maybe where I do like that where I barely lower my level. But the main place to use ducks from, the best place, is when our opponent's putting pressure into us, okay? And so, again, I talk about wrestling, like we can have our go-tos, but there's some things where our opponent's gonna do, and we have to understand how to defend them and what weapons to use against them. And if we don't have those weapons in our arsenal, it's gonna make it really difficult. So like, for example, if my opponent wants to really push in really hard, ooh, and you push, okay? There's really two things that I can do, ducks and I can do drags. And if I don't have either one of those options in my arsenal, I'm gonna have a really long day because he's gonna push me all over the place. So I'm here for stalling and I'm not gonna have any options. So if someone's pushing in really hard, right, they're really susceptible to a duck under. So that's kind of like when we should use our duck unders the most is when someone's putting pressure into us. Obviously, if there's no pressure into us, Weston's just standing there, it's super hard to duck him. So if we imagine, Weston's just standing here, no pressure, like, the duck under was good, he didn't move, right? In fact, that in a real life situation, that's not going to end up so well for me because I didn't have the right pressure. My duck under was good, but it wasn't at the right time and the right pressure. Okay, so where do I start teaching duck unders? So for a long time, I would get frustrated because I would teach the duck unders and I'd always get kind of a half-assed version of what I wanted. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, as the mantis position got more popular, so we talk about mantis, we didn't even get this right here. This is our mantis position. Okay, as that got more popular, I noticed there was obviously, you can't like grab an elbow like you would for headlock. So I noticed, well, hey, this is somewhere we can use. So in my opinion, peek out and duck under, I'm going to call it kind of the same thing. Right? So if he goes here, boom, I can turn the corner, hit duck under, peek out. So I said, okay, let's do it from there. So obviously from down there, when we're down there, it's not like I can be here. Okay, I literally have to be here. Okay, to get through that space. So what I found is when I said to kids, do the duck under from the mantis here. Boom. Okay, boom. They all do it right. Everyone in the room does it. They do it the right way. They understand. Put your butt on your heel. You get low. Your chest is relatively vertical, and they get it right. So then I say, okay, well, so now every time I pretty much start there. So we're making sure we get the duck technique right. And then as we move to our feet, I'm much more likely to have them do the correct technique as opposed to a more lazy one.